Welcome on board. It is time for To The Point, but of importance, TV47 Weekend Edition. Thank you so much for keeping it right here. We have so much lined up for you in the world of news. Well, unfortunate stories, but equally beautiful ones. But before then, we all know that as the majority of people gain access to the internet, the pool of potential online daters expands. And while the space is open for every Tom, Dick and Harry, well, users need to exercise some bit of caution, try to engage in reputable platforms, be keen to protect their privacy as well as their being. And so tonight, on To The Point, we discuss sex and wellness. You know, this umbrella that encompasses so much of what is to be done in the world of dating. We're looking at what is happening online. We're looking at what is playing out, you know, in the Airbnbs. And we ask ourselves, have we lost it as a society? That's what we'll be answering later on in the broadcast, as I have my guest that will join me shortly and I'll be introducing them to you. But before then, it is important that we all know what is in the world of news. And here are the highlights. Tonight, who killed her and why? Detectives launch investigation into murder of a woman whose body was found stuffed in a paper bag off Thika Road, Nairobi.
Paper bags zimekuwa wrapped. Sikuwa wrapped, nikishika nikasikia kama mwili.
And in Baringo County, suspected bandits strike again, killing the deputy head teacher at Chemeo Primary School on his way home.
Bahati mbaya, before afike kwake, akapatwa na wale wakora.
Also, the presidency takes up the challenge by Chief Justice Martha Koome, as Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua says he will present a petition for the removal of Justice Esther Maina for alleged misconduct and corruption.
I'll personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina.
Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority reviews pump prices, with super petrol and diesel reduced by 5 shillings, with kerosene reduced by 4.82 shillings. TV47 Weekend Edition begins right away. My name is Linda Alela. Sign language interpreter is Rhoda Nyamai. And to this unfortunate, or this better piece actually, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority has lowered the retail price of a litre of super petrol and diesel by 5 shillings, while the pump price of a litre of kerosene has been reduced by 4.82 shillings. In Nairobi, super petrol, diesel and kerosene will now retail at 207.36 shillings, 196 and 47 cents, and of course 194 shillings and 23 cents effective midnight for the next 30 days. The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority indicated that the landed cost of imported super petrol reduced by 2.40% and diesel by 9.06%, while kerosene by 4.33% per cubic meter. And here is the unfortunate piece that police are investigating an incident where body parts believed to be of an unidentified woman were recovered at an Airbnb at TRM Drive along Thika Road Sunday morning. Her body was found chopped and packed in trash bags and dropped at the bottom of the stairs in the ground floor. Her identity has been undisclosed, but in the grisly series of events, the head was missing, as George Maringa details.
Another Airbnb, another murder. This time at TRM Drive along Thika Road. The crime scene, this flat. Witnesses say that inside this plastic litter bin is where body parts were discovered. They are said to be that of a woman in her 20s. Neighbors surrounded the murder scene of the incident that has raised more questions than answers. The flat hosts an Airbnb, which is believed to have been the specific murder scene. It is the building's caretaker who discovered the body parts wrapped inside plastic bags.
So asubuhi nikiamka, nikifanya kufanya usafi, nikifika hapo chini nikapata paper bags zimekuwa wrapped. Sikuwa wrapped, nikishika nikasikia ni kama mwili, ikabidi nipigie mwenye amekodesha nyumba ili nimuulize kama, because I was very surprised kulingana na chenye niliona. Nikibeba nikaona kama damu, nikampigia kuje nikaconfirm kupata ni kama ilikuwa kwake. Then they involve police.
The Airbnb room was found to be squeaky clean and there was no stain of blood, leaving many to wonder how the murder took place. There is no clear evidence to show whether the crime was done by one person or multiple people.
Hapo tichi ya stairs imefungwa kwa paper bag ya black, then imefungwa na curtain ya white.
Some suspects have been arrested in connection with the murder, though the motive and other details are being investigated. Police are foraging through CCTV footage acquired from the neighboring apartment, but have not shared any other details other than that the prime suspect had adorned a cape and dark sunglasses.
Kichwa hakuna, mguu zote mbili zimekatwa, ziko kando kando, then from here to hapa hizo zimewekwa kwa jwala moja, mguu moja side moja, side moja. Ni hiyo tu.
The owner of the Airbnb was left to tears. The gruesome murder comes just 8 days after socialite starlet Wahoo was found murdered at an Airbnb in South B area of Nairobi. One suspect, John Matara, has been arrested in connection with the murder of Wahoo. Back at TRM Drive, police carried away the plastic bags as investigations continue. The question lingers: who killed her and why? George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
And while it's not clear whether this is a question of love or not, remember this evening, we'll be having that discussion on sex and wellness, just getting to understand how important it is for you to be careful, even as you get to meet some of these people online and so much more. So make sure that you drop in your comments as we proceed, and we'll be looking at them as we continue. That is later on. But away from 8, Thursday, this coming week, I will personally present a petition before Lady Justice Martha Koome. Not my words, but the words of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, revealing that he will present a petition for the removal of Justice Esther Maina before the Judicial Service Commission, JSC, for alleged misconduct and corruption. Gachagua's disclosures indicating an escalation of the tiff between the executive as well as the judiciary coming days after Chief Justice Martha Koome dared the President William Ruto to present proof connecting any judge to wrongdoing, following claims by the President that the courts are being manipulated by hostile parties to undermine government's initiatives, as Micah Gungu tells us.
The brewing tiff between the executive and the judiciary is far from over. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua taking up the dare to present any proof linking judges and wrongdoing by Chief Justice Martha Koome. And at Elgeyo Marakwet Sunday, Rigathi Gachagua revealed that he will take Koome's advice and pursue Justice Esther Maina's removal from office.
I will lead by example. On Thursday, this coming week, at 2:15, I'll personally present a petition before Lady Chief Justice Martha Koome against Justice Esther Maina for her removal from the judiciary for misconduct and corruption.
Gachagua's revelations comes days after President William Ruto traded his guns towards the judiciary, accusing the courts of being used by unscrupulous individuals to frustrate government initiatives, where Koome urged the executive to present evidence trying any judge to corruption.
Si ametuuliza, sasa tuko tayari, mimi ndio taongoza kwa executive. Huyo judge through corruption declared my hard-earned wealth proceeds of crime without giving me an opportunity to be heard.
Gachagua took issues with Justice Maina, who was the presiding judge in a matter that the deputy president was linked to a case where it was alleged that 202 million shillings were proceeds of corruption. In the matter that Gachagua was vindicated of any wrongdoing is alleged to have accepted the funds from state agencies. But there was insufficient proof to establish that he had provided any products or services to the government. In order to formally petition for Justice Maina's removal from office on Thursday, DP Gachagua has invited members of the public who had comparable grievances against judicial personnel to join him.
Na nauliza Wakenya wengine wale wote wako na petitions against judges. Those who may want to join me on Thursday tupeleke pamoja.
Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
In another tragic incident, Chimoy Primary School deputy head teacher shot dead at Baratabwa ward in Baringo County by suspected bandits. The deceased is said to have left the school at 10 p.m. before meeting his death on his way home. This even as President William Ruto announces the relocation of the Eldoret KDF training camp to Kerio Valley as part of a campaign to end banditry and cattle rustling along the banditry-prone region that is Kerio Valley belt.
According to the family of the deceased Chimoy Primary School deputy head teacher, the deceased left school at around 10 p.m. before meeting his death on his way home.
Huyu mwalimu alikuwa shuleni. Akawa shuleni mpaka saa 4:30. Akawa na maongeo na matron ya shule na watchman. So yeye kukufa alikuwa nakufa akitoka shule akienda kwake sasa kupumzika.
Police report reveals that the body of the deceased had gunshot wounds from a high caliber weapon, wounds that killed him on the spot. The incident brings the total number of people who have died in the area in the past 5 days to be 6, with 5 more people dying in separate incidents in the past couple of days.
Juzi tulipitia pia shida kama hii. I lost my dad, anaitwa Prekum, and then my 2 uncles. Sasa nimekuja tena Baringo nikapata the same problem.
This even as President William Ruto announces the relocation of the Eldoret KDF training camp to Kerio Valley as part of a campaign to end banditry and cattle rustling in the North Rift region. Speaking in Iten, Ruto directed security personnel to deal with individuals who are disrupting peace in the region so as to restore peace.
Ni kitu imehangaisha hii nchi kwa miaka mingi, lakini there is an end to it in sight. Hii kitu tutamalizana nayo. Tayari tuko na wanajeshi nimeweka hapa. Na hawa wanajeshi hawatoki mpaka hii dunia kuwe na usalama. We are moving the military here permanent. In fact, najenga kampi kubwa ya jeshi hapa. Training ya jeshi ambayo inaendelea hapa Moi Barracks tutahamisha iende kufanyia huko.
Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
And a total of 48 revelers have been arrested in Mombasa during a Shisha crackdown whose use was prohibited in the country since 2017. The owners of the Shisha joint had been operating with an expired license, which asserts the residential place as a bar and restaurant. The raid comes barely a week after Nakada conducted a similar operation in Nairobi, arresting 21 persons.
Officials from the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse NACADA, accompanied by security officers, raided various joints in Nyali, Mombasa County, where revelers smoke shisha. 48 suspects, including 12 women, were arrested as over 47 shisha bongs and more than 700 shisha ingredients were confiscated.
We were able to get over 700 shisha ingredients, which we will subject to an assessment at the government chemist to verify the actual contents of that shisha ingredients.
The owners of the residential turned into a shisha smoking zone had also been found in possession of an expired license, which asserts it to operate as a bar and restaurant.
Saturday wanakuja kidogo percentage kubwa kama watu 50 hivi. No. Kwa sababu sasa job vile iko down. Lakini saa weekdays unaweza pata watu 20 kama watu 30.
Although many suspects managed to escape, the NACADA CEO Anthony Omirikwa has stressed that a similar search will continue throughout the country.
I'd like to urge proprietors that the law is very clear. If you have an establishment you need to operate your enterprise within the law. Shisha is banned.
Last week, an operation against the Shisha business had taken place in Kilimani, Nairobi, where 21 suspects got apprehended. Those arrested in Mombasa will, however, be presented to court to answer their charges. Paul Monio, TV47, Mombasa.
Now, the Affordable Housing Bill 2023 will undergo public hearings initiated by the National Assembly starting next week, Wednesday. The House, facilitated by the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, as well as Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works, has scheduled a series of public meetings across 19 counties. According to a program, scheduled hearings will see the legislators visit Narok, Embu, Kisii, Kirinyaga, Homa Bay, Kiambu, Vihiga, Machakos, Uasin Gishu and Turkana counties. Other developed or devolved units where lawmakers will collect views include Baringo, Nairobi, Wajir, Nakuru, Nyandarua, Tana River, Kilifi, Mombasa counties. The Affordable Housing Bill 2023 has already undergone the first reading, and the bill was born out of the need to create a comprehensive framework for the affordable housing program following a High Court order that declared the housing levy unconstitutional. And the government has initiated plans to improve a majority of roads in the country as one way to attract investors. The action includes allocating more funds for the construction and repair of various roads throughout the country. Isaac Famba with that.
For the better part of the week, President William Ruto has been seen touring different counties across the country, inspecting road projects funded by the national government. Recently, the head of state launched activities of improving bitumen to standard of a road of more than 40 kilometers from Boiman area to Mumbi in Oljororok, Nyandarua County.
Tuliwaambia hii barabara kutoka hapa Boiman kwenda mpaka Charagita, kwenda mpaka Silanga, kwenda mpaka iungane na kwa Mumbi, tuungane na kule Olkalao. Hii barabara kilomita 44. Mimi nimekuja kuwatangazia sasa tuko na pesa ya kujenga hii barabara yenu. Neguo, tunaelewana? Na hii kazi nimekubaliana na wabunge wenu. Kuna ile kazi imeanza huko kwa Mombe. Si namna hiyo? Lakini vile vile nimesema ndio hii kazi itembee haraka. Ianze ingine huko kwa Mumbi, lakini ianze ingine hapa Boiman.
In Nakuru County, President Ruto stated that currently a 450-kilometer road is under construction by Kera, while construction of 300 kilometers is already completed.
Na mimi nimefika hapa Lamuria kwa sababu ya hii barabara. Hii barabara tulikuja hapa na rais wetu aliyetangulia Mheshimiwa Uhuru, tukaanzisha hii barabara kutoka Solio kule kuja hapa Lamuria, kwenda hapa chini Karai, kuteremuka mpaka Widhare na kwenda Makutano. Lakini kuna section kutoka hapa kwenda mpaka Naromoru ambaye kidogo imekwama. Si ndio? So nimefika hapa kukwamua hiyo barabara. Na hapa niko na Bwana Mbugwa ambaye ni PS wangu wa mambo ya barabara. Nimempatia mwezi 3. Hiyo barabara ajenge daraja na afanye completion, akamilishe ile sehemu imebaki hapo.
The head of state further highlighted that road construction plan throughout the country is currently in progress, with different areas expected to benefit through repair and construction. Isaac Famba, TV47.
Tuliwaambia hii barabara kutoka
Thanks, Isaac, for that. A section of landowners at Longonot area in Naivasha are lamenting over a spate of encroachment by the lands of their lands by unscrupulous sand harvesters who, without consent, are sporadically sinking their lands to harvest sand. As Willie Dennis Jiro reports, the landowners are running into huge losses in land value.
These are huge portions of land at the slopes of Mount Longonot area, well known for rich and quality sand, where malicious persons are taking advantage of absent landlords to harvest sand, which sits on very loose soils.
We had contacted the Longonot police who are with us, and they did apprehend the truck, one of the trucks. And one of the officers, the Longonot officers, got in the truck to take it back to the police station. On the way to the police station, the driver decided to disobey the law and started heading to Maimahi at very high speeds. Almost caused 4 times. We were chasing him and he almost caused accident at 4 occasions.
People are invading people's land and excavating sand. And this is a very big cartel because this is not the first land that it's happening like this.
Those involved have established a cartel to lure unsuspecting sand buyers at affordable rates, factoring proximity to the main road, where a truck goes for a sum of 14,000 shillings.
We are the slopes of Mount Longonot. This area is, of course, very rich in minerals. I'm sure what they're getting out of here is more than that. They're digging pits more than 20 feet deep.
At the time of our visit here, this shovel tractor was fast leveling trenches at exorbitant cost at the expense of whose trucks were apprehended by police as a request by owners on an out-of-court settlement.
No, people encroaching. I have given nobody no authority to come to my land.
We have really lost a big value of this land because once it gets distracted like this, then it means that it has no value.
The landlords say, despite continued uproar on the issue to the security organs, no action has been taken.
We report, you have like